So I'm going to stop sharing, Lourdes.
Okay, can you hear me well, Patricia?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon, dear teachers. Now it's my turn to share my screen because I'm going to introduce Victor Aguirre. Yes, a moment, please. Okay, is it okay? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So, Victor began his career as an English teacher while studying for a bachelor's degree in communication in his native state of Sonora. Since then, and for 25 years, he has taught English mainly in higher education. He has also worked in the mining industry, where his international and communication skills were highly valued. Victor has held administrative positions in the language departments at the Universidad del Noroeste and at the Universidad del Valle de México, Campus Hermosillo, where he was also the coordinator of the Student Exchange Department. He has been an academic consultant at Marlo Hill since 2016 and lives in Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. So, Victor, can you hear me?
Yes, hello, I can hear you
okay.
loud here. How is
the audience is yours. Fine, thanks. Waiting to hear you. So you have the host now and let's start. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much and thank you for the nice introduction. I am very happy to be with all of you. You are a lot of people out there, more than 200 people connected, and I'm very happy to say hi to you all the way from the city of Monterrey here in northern Mexico. Well, today we have a very interesting, well, I hope it's interesting topic to you all, and this is going to be about the virtual learning environments that we need to have a conversation about this, particularly in the time we're going through in a lockdown town in most lockdown time in most of our countries, where we need to be at home and we need to work from home. And if we happen to be teachers, we need to teach from home. And that represents big challenges for all of us teachers. I know you all agree with me on that. Let me share my PowerPoint presentation for a moment. Let me now share. So,
sorry, Victor, you are mute. Your microphone is off.
Okay.
Yes, okay.
Sorry about that.
That's no problem.
Okay. I think I am, yeah, I'm sure. Can you hear me well now?
Yes,
okay, well,
now it's okay. Now it's okay.
This is the beginning of my, thank you very much. This is the beginning of my PowerPoint presentation, and that's going to serve as a visual aid for me to talk to you about the virtual classes. I'm gonna close down the monitor here, or the picture, so I can look at my my screen and my slides. Okay, well, virtual classroom, I believe the name is very easy to understand and to show the topic, the name of the topic that we are going to be talking about today for the next 60 minutes. So I'm going to be talking to you about it, and we also have an activity in between. So I'm gonna let you know about that when the time is correct. All right, let me go to the next slide here. Okay, so okay, there you go. Okay, so the internet has allowed for new ways to teach and learn. Okay, so all of you are teachers, I understand, and welcome to our new reality, everybody. All the way since around March of this year, we've been faced with a brand new challenge that we never thought of before, and it caught us off guard, basically. Now, a lot of the schools for some years now had been introducing the other virtual learning environments, but it hasn't been until the year 2020 in which a lot of us teachers have been faced with this new challenge and new possibilities to teach our classes from home mainly. But fortunately, the internet is here with us to help us. And let me go to the next part. And to help us with connectivity. I'm sure you have thought about the possibility of being in this situation, but without an internet connection. So the world would be a very different place if we were not able to have internet access. All right. So that is one positive thing, that we have connecting internet connection right now in these very trying times. Okay, so internet has allowed us to get access for faster materials, for faster resources. We are able to reach for new material at never before seen speeds. Now that we are in the internet age, everything is possible on the click of a button. Now that has helped us reach for our students, and we're going to talk about the education, of course, but that has had allowed us to reach our students wherever they are. It doesn't matter if they're in the same campus, if they live in our neighborhood, or if they are halfway across the world. I know of an instance of a student who went abroad as an exchange student, but for only 2 months, and then the pandemic struck and he happened to be in Belgium. So his school ever since has been going on through an online instruction. So he was very fortunate that the school allowed him to do that. Now we have access to many different resources. We have access to many different materials. We have access to our students, of course, through the internet. So that is thanks to the internet connection. Of course, the internet has allowed us to teach classes also with flexibility of time. Now, if we compare our classes with the traditional classroom classes, the flexibility has been a lot more, a lot bigger nowadays than before, because before we needed to follow schedule, to follow a starting time of the class and an end time, whereas now classes can be recorded. Classes or teachers can be accessed at different times, and all of you know about that. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not, but the availability of us all through the internet is also different than before. And of course, we have access to limitless teaching resources. Okay, so 1.5 billion students around the world, according to UNESCO, were engaged in remote learning during the COVID pandemic of 2020. And these are the statistics up to March, all right? So you can imagine how important this technology is right now, how relevant the technology is right now, because of the situation we happen to be in. Now, before we go any further in this talk, I think we need to stop for a bit and show you some definitions. We're going to be mentioning some concepts today in this session, so we need the definitions to be very clear for all of us so we can speak the same language. The first definition that we have here is the learning environment, and that refers to the different physical locations, contexts, and cultures in which students learn. Now, the learning environment includes the typical classroom with a blackboard and rows of chairs and the teacher's desks. That is also a learning environment. But learning environment can also include like the campus or the playground. The learning environment can be a museum, for instance, or the group being on a day field trip. That can be a learning environment. And of course, today we're going to also include the next big topic, which is a virtual learning environment. Now, the word virtual comes in because the word virtual includes education technology that is a web-based platform, usually web-based, well, always a web-based platform for the digital aspects of courses of study, usually within educational institutions, but also in offices in different companies. Human resources and the training departments are also using the virtual learning environment. So it's not only the educational institutions. The virtual learning environments present resources, activities, and interactions within a course structure and provide for the different stages of assessment. So basically, what we all did before in a typical classroom environment, now we are able to do, but within a virtual learning environment. Okay, so the next definition we have here is the learning management system, usually known as an LMS. And this is a software application used to organize and distribute e-learning materials, assignments, and assessments, which track and calculate grades and facilitate communication among students and teachers. Now, you might be looking at the virtual learning environment here, known also as the VLE, or the learning management system known as the LMS, and you are probably thinking what the difference is. And most of the people agree that the difference is basically none. However, there are some teachers and some experts that make a little differentiation between these two concepts, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. All right, what about an authoring tool? Do you all know what an authoring tool is? And I think this is fairly simple to guess. And this is a software that enables teachers to create and arrange content into a standardized course structure, okay? So an authoring tool is basically a software that allows the teacher to create content, either to upload pictures, to upload videos, to upload questions, to upload texts in an intelligent structure that allows for students to learn something, to learn a topic, to learn a subject, or even to practice skills or develop some skills, okay? So the authoring tool are being used or is being used by teachers all across the board, but also the authoring tools are being used by companies, as I mentioned before, particularly the training departments in the different companies. And you would be surprised the high percentage of companies that are using the virtual learning environments to teach their employees and even their customers sometimes. And just for those of you who are interested in facts and percentages and this kind of information, usually currently about 80% of the virtual learning environments do not necessarily happen within the school system or within the education system, and they happen within the different industries. And they can be like factories, they can be all sorts of different companies like restaurants, accounting firms, and seriously different kinds of industries that are using these environments, these virtual environments, to train their personnel. All right. So, I think that is an important piece of information that we should have in mind. Now, the SCORM is not necessarily that relevant, but I wanted to include it here because this is a shareable content object reference model. That's what SCORM means. And it's a set of technical standards for e-learning software products. So SCORM tells programmers how to write their code so that it can play well with other learning software. It is the de facto industry standard for learning interoperability. Okay, you do not have to remember this last concept, but I just wanted to mention it because this is the language that people need to save their material they're uploading on their authoring tools in order to be used in the virtual learning environment. Okay, so just so you are familiar with this, with these terms. Okay, LMS or VLE. So remember what those letters stand for. LMS is Learning Management System, and the VLE is the Virtual Learning Environment. As I mentioned before, most of the time these are interchangeable, or people and teachers use it. It doesn't matter what term they use, is basically the same. But again, there are some experts who make a little bit of a difference there, and the difference consists in the sense that some people believe that LMS is just a way to transmit the knowledge or transmit the worksheets or the didactic material to the students, and not necessarily have anything to do with the actual learning itself. Whereas the virtual learning environments, some experts believe, that is a more comprehensive way of teaching and learning by the students. So that would be the main difference some people claim. But again, most of the time, most of the people use it interchangeably. Okay, so I'm going to show you some of the examples of LMS, or learning management systems, that allowed for virtual learning environments to happen. One is the SharePoint, if you've ever heard of it. Then it's the Moodle, and I'm gonna ask you when it's time for the Q&A part of the session, if you are familiar with these LMS, or if you have another one that you use. The Moodle is also fairly common, at least where I work here in this part of the world, which is a modular, object-oriented, dynamic learning environment. And this can either be free, the basic version is free, but they also have the premium version, which you need to buy, obviously. And then we have the Google Classroom, and this is probably the most popular one because it is free for all, and it is also very, very effective. This is a cloud-based LMS with easy integration with various education applications. All right, so I'm sure you are familiar also with Google Classroom. Google Classroom is also used for, well, basically any kind of subject that we can think of, because it allows for teachers to share material. It allowed teachers to share resources, to make groups, to add students, to invite students to become part of the group. Google Classroom is also very effective in managing the assessments as well. Teachers can send assessments or exams and quizzes to their students, and the quizzes can also come back already graded. So that's a great advantage to that. But we also have other LMS like the Microsoft Teams, which is also quite popular. So there you go. There you go. Those are some of the learning management systems that we are more accustomed to. Now, what has happened during this pandemic, during the 2020 experience that we're all still going through, right? So the video conferencing system is something that is here to stay. It was here before, but it hasn't been until this year, in fact, where there was an explosion of new users of the video conferencing systems. And this goes for teachers and students, but also in other industries as well. Okay, so we know it also as video as a service, or VAS, which is the delivery of multi-party or point-to-point video conferencing capabilities over the internet by a managed service provider. So I'm gonna show you some of the most common ones that we have around, like Microsoft Teams, that allows us to connect with our with other people, either one-on-one or with multiple people at a time. GoToMeeting is another one, another good example. Google Meet, and I'm sure you've also heard of the Google Meet, or maybe you're using it as well. Skype has been around for quite some time now, and typically many people use this for our personal use, you know, with family and friends that are probably in the same city, but it's very useful when you try to connect with people abroad, for instance. We have the WebEx meeting, which I personally use in the company I work for, and that was the de facto video conferencing system that we use. Also, the Zoom, which is the one we're using right now. So these are some examples of the video conferencing systems that you can also know them as video as a service, if you see this term also. Okay, so what are the advantages of being connected and using the virtual learning environments? Well, one of the advantages is that you can access it from any sort of device, like from desktops, tablets, of course, laptops, smartphones, and obviously these devices can be used anywhere and anytime. And of course, this will allow for all of us to make our classes more flexible, especially when it comes to time. All right, so some of the most popular authoring tools. Okay, authoring tools, the name authoring are already giving us a hint of what these tools are, okay? So as I explained before, these are tools that will allow, in this case, teachers to create content to share with students. But there are many different choices out there in the market, and most of these choices have a fee, either a monthly fee or a yearly fee, some of them, and there's even some of the authoring tools with a live fee. So there's once in a lifetime you pay the fee, and then you never have to worry about paying it again. So the Docebo is one of the most popular authoring tools that began in 2005, but it wasn't until 2 years ago when it released their learning specific artificial intelligence algorithms into the learning platform that are powered by a combination of machine learning, deep learning, and natural language processing to produce an automated and holistic approach to learning. This is a formal LMS that drives growth, organizational performance, and revenue. Now, this is the first time we're seeing the word or the concept of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence has also or is also making a big impact when it comes to the virtual learning environments, because the artificial intelligence allows for these systems to find out what the students' learning needs are. And I'm talking about the about a personalized ways, different personalized ways in which students are acquiring their knowledge. So you can have a group of 30 students, for instance, but in the end, if they're using the artificial or artificial intelligence, obviously the students are going to perform at a different level based on their personalized learning style. So that is something to consider, and that is probably topic for a whole other session. Now there's another one called Wiz IQ, which began in 2007. This is a cloud-based education platform to access teaching and training modules through smartphone and laptops. Now remember, we're talking here about authoring tools. You can use Wiz IQ to share content with your students, content that you are obviously creating. And we have another one that it's called Elucidad, which is also an e-learning authoring tool featuring a custom theme builder, pre-made templates, collaboration tools, and user-friendly design interfaces. Now, some of these authoring tools are easier than others. Some of them require more expertise on the person creating the information, but there are some new ones that are really to use them because they're very user-friendly. Some of them are like the number 4 here. It's called the Articulate Storyline 360, and also the Rise 360s, and our top quality authoring tools. And there's one that's called Shift, another one called Domino 1 also, and Easy Generator, which has a lot of impressive features to help you make engaging content. And finally, the Blackboard Learn, which is another LMS and an American educational technology company. Okay, so you don't have to obviously remember any of these, but I just wanted to show you how many possibilities for all of you teachers are out there for you to create your own content. Now, this is necessary only when you do not have an authoring tool already in school, or when you are not using an LMS in school. Okay, this is probably best recommended for independent teachers who would like to create their own content and use them with their own groups. That's probably when these comes in more handy. Okay, so some common virtual learning environments features. Okay, what are the characteristics of some of these virtual learning environments? Okay, so the course management is it's created and well managed. Obviously, with these virtual learning environments, particularly with the ones that are already set in place in the different schools, right? Because you have your class already programmed and organized and well structured, so teachers don't necessarily have to worry about working on how to structure it or working on the design. A lot of these virtual learning environments are already created for the teachers, particularly again the ones that are used in schools. Obviously, the virtual classrooms are already in there. They test and assess the students with wonderful capabilities in every, as the day goes by, or as the time goes by, the different capabilities are increasingly becoming more and more effective and easier, of course, for the teachers to manage. Now, device learning, analytics. The analytics is very important because a lot of the times when we're working from a distance with our students, we are not physically there with our students and we don't necessarily know exactly what they're doing. So the analytics is very important for the teachers because the teachers need to know how many hours the students were connected to their LMS, how much time they spend actually working on the platform, for instance, or whether they have their platform on, but they were distracted doing other things. So there's a lot of information available for the teacher through the different analytics from the different programs. Social learning, of course, some of these virtual learning environments include the social learning, which are possibilities or allow this for the students to chat, obviously with the purpose of practicing and learning and working collaboratively with their classmates, and also participating in different kinds of forums that the teacher creates or even the students can create. And gamification. Gamification is also something very attractive on the side of the student because they enjoy playing at the same time as they are learning. Teachers want their classes to be engaging, and we as teachers always struggle with that. But if we include gamification in our lessons, we are working to make our classes more attractive for our students and more engaging. And our students are going to love the classes, and our students are going to love us as teachers because we're including fun activities in the classroom. And remember, these activities are always need to be geared towards a purpose, a specific learning objective. Okay, so the classroom, the virtual classroom needs to be well structured, carefully designed, and managed to be effective, okay? So it doesn't mean that because we have a virtual learning environment, or we're working with it, or we're working with it as a blended way, it doesn't mean that it cannot be structured. It has to be. Otherwise, there will be no purpose in having a virtual learning environment. The virtual learning environment is just a tool, but the intelligence needs to be there and needs to come from the creators of the classes, in this case, the teachers. Okay, so they need to be well designed, they need to be well managed, they need to be teachers need to pay attention to the different steps that the class needs to have in order for the class to be successful. All right, just like any face-to-face class, the virtual classroom needs to be well planned and executed. So basically that is the idea, that we need to pay close attention to what we're doing. And it's probably more challenging, particularly because this is something new to a lot of schools or new to a lot of teachers. Once we get used to these virtual learning environments, it's going to become easier and easier. And but in the very beginning, it's definitely challenging, and you need to be able to handle different aspects of the classes. And on top of teaching and on top of managing your class, you're dealing with technological challenges. So we're in a very interesting time when it comes to that. Okay, the virtual learning environment can complement the face-to-face teaching or be used entirely as the mean of instruction and learning, allowing for flexibility of time, reach, and use of teaching strategies. When we go back, I'm not sure if in Peru you're already going back to the classroom. But when we go back, we definitely can include the virtual learning environments into our classes, making them a blended learning strategy. So, so I think this is a good exercise for all of us in which we are being forced to work remotely with our students. So when we go back to our classes, I'm sure we're going to be more experienced and more knowledgeable when it comes to working with virtual learning environments. So that's something positive that this situation is going to leave behind. Now, what about the pedagogical approach? The pedagogical approach is not separated from a virtual learning environment. It's, in fact, is just simply part of it all. And the 5 major approaches for teaching can also be implemented with a virtual learning environment just the same. Remember that the means of instruction is going to be a little bit different, but the pedagogical approach can be exactly the same. Of course, we need to make adjustments, and we need to rethink the way we teach. And this is something that the whole teaching community worldwide is doing at this very moment. Okay, so we still have a lot to learn as to how to incorporate these strategies, but the pedagogical approach is already there. Now, in the next few months and the next few years, it'll be very interesting to witness what the direction of education is going to head to. All right, because there's a lot of things that we don't know. We were able to foresee the future quite easily, but not at this time. So it'll be very interesting to see what is next. Okay, so are you ready for a little activity, everybody? Incorporate the virtual classes in our everyday practice. I am going to ask everybody to use your cell phones and to go to menti.com that you have on the screen, and it's going to ask you for a code, and the code is 124732. I'm gonna allow for a few seconds for you to access this page, and in a moment I'm going to change my screen to menti.com so I can share it with you. Okay, it's menti.com, and the code is 1247302. Okay, I'm going to share my other screen. Okay, you're all seeing my screen, and it's the same questions. What are some of the ideas on how you can incorporate the virtual classes in your everyday practice? So what you're going to write, let's not make it too long, okay? Because we're going to be seeing it on our screen. Maybe one line, maybe 2 at the very most. Just share with us how you can incorporate the virtual classes in our everyday practice. And this is whether you're teaching from home or whether you are teaching physically in a school. Okay, and as you include this information is going to come up on the screen. And we're going to go through a few of them. I wish we had the time to go through all of them. Okay, I'm just going to give you 20 more seconds and then I will begin reading it. Okay, so wow, we're seeing a lot of information here, and people are still writing, but that's okay. You can keep on writing. I'm just gonna begin reading. Okay, I'm seeing games here. A lot of games people are mentioning here to include in your virtual learning environments. Um, Interactive games online, using online tools such as games, audios, videos, etc. Online worksheets, of course, gamification, a lot of games. Accepting our new reality, we are together through screens. Yes, and we need to understand that this approach is here to stay. Forums, of course, forums for opinions on a particular topic are very, very useful, and this is a great opportunity for students to express themselves and express what their opinions are. But other than that, since you're our language teachers, your students can definitely practice what they are learning in a real conversation with their classmates. Using apps and extensions, of course, more games, using Quizalize the students, all right, games and songs. Songs are very engaging, of course. Interactive games, songs with lyrics, of course, short videos. Make sure the videos you choose are relevant and they have the proper wording. Today, many videos are not necessarily appropriate for all age groups. So we need to take that into consideration, and we definitely need to scrutinize, the material we're going to be using in our classroom. Online projects, online presentations, oral presentations with recorded videos, through games, okay, accepting our connections through screen, of course, singing, worksheets, all right. A lot of games, the word games is probably the most used word in this exercise. Using a variety, okay, videos. Love to use Kahoot. I wanted to use Kahoot, but I figured there were too many people in this conference and I don't have the paid version. So it only allowed me for a very few users. Songs, emojis, using PowerPoint presentations, pictures, readings, listening videos. Wow, lots of great ideas here. Lots of great ideas. Quizzes is a good and free app where kids can learn in a fun way, of course. Okay, video games. Okay, wow. That is very good information, but I have to admit that a lot of the options are games, which is something that we all love and enjoy. A word of caution there every time, and this is just my opinion, but a word of caution there is every time that you use games, please use them with an objective in mind, not just for fun, but use them to practice something or to reinforce something or to review, probably before the exam or even after the exam when they're tired of thinking too much. You can include a game as a review. You can use games as icebreakers. Games are a lot of fun when we're in a classroom face to face, but definitely games are also possible via the internet and interactive games. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back to the presentation. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope you had a good, I hope you liked it. But more than that, I believe it's a good idea to see what everybody else is thinking. Okay, somebody's writing on my presentation here. Thank you for sharing. Okay, what happens if you're not using a learning management system? Well, we still have access to many other resources online. Here we go, everybody. Some of the resources are the conferencing, video conferencing system for lectures, for everyday classes, and let me take this out of the way because I cannot read. Lectures, obviously, when teachers are teaching in class from home, a video conferencing system is definitely maybe the only way we can do lectures, right? Or teach our classes. Now for feedback, if you're using a conferencing system like Zoom or Skype, for instance, or Google Meets, it is great for feedback because you can listen to your students speaking or presenting. For a question and answer session is perfect. Also for student presentations, make students present their results of the results of their projects, role plays that usually happen in a classroom, but now with a video conferencing system, we can have students do role plays. Even if they're not physically together, they can do it online. Informative assessment, of course, and I believe, this is my personal opinion again, but I believe the way we assess our student is also going to change. Even though there are wonderful tools for us to evaluate our students over the internet with a lot of advantages, I believe we need to consider other ways of evaluating our students. Informative assessment is one of the ways in which we can evaluate students through the way they're speaking on their presentations, through the way they're presenting their projects. But formative assessment is something that I believe is going to be more relevant from now on. Okay, the social media for forums or topics, topic discussions. I believe social media, as much as we have a negative feelings for the social media, sometimes we can definitely decide to use social media for our own advantage and for the advantage of the learning of our students. Okay, so social media for forums, like on Facebook, for instance, you can definitely open a Facebook account just for the students, for your group, where they can express their ideas and share their knowledge in these forums. Also, I don't know if Twitter is another good way for your students to express, particularly for a language teacher, you know, where teachers need the students to really use their communication skills. Twitter is probably another good social media that you can use with them. Topic discussions, okay. For Instagram, you can also use Instagram, and you can be creative here, but maybe your students can go on a field trip or take pictures of their home, furnituring in their home, for instance, if you're teaching that class, or if they're going to the park, they can take pictures of different things and post them on Instagram, for instance, and you can also use that social media for your class. Okay, so email teaching materials like worksheets, internet links, images, video, directions when when not properly using an LMS. Okay, emails. If you're using an LMS, well, typically they would have a video. I'm sorry, an email. An internal email system, right? But if not, you can definitely use your student's account and your own account to send information back and forth. Now use interactive presentation tools like menti.com that we just used. I heard somebody mentioning Kahoot, for instance, and there are many other interactive presentations that you can use and include in your classrooms, but remember and never forget to use them with a purpose in mind, with an academic purpose in mind. All right, sometimes we don't do that. Okay, so use interactive games and quizzes like Kahoot, of course, and the internet is limitless when it comes to teaching resources. Okay, I'm just going to hurry up because it's almost time, but I want to allow some time, at least 5 minutes for questions. Probably this is the last slide I'm going to show, so we have enough time for questions. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of virtual learning environment? Okay, so let's go with the advantages. Obviously, flexibility. The virtual learning environment tends to be more student-centered than traditional classroom for whatever reason, but that's the experience of many experts. Another advantage is that it has more freedom for university students. And this is interesting. The age of the students makes a big difference, because high school students and university students, obviously they're more independent than younger students, and they manage their time in however form they wish to manage their time. So it is a great advantage for these kinds of students. Even for working adults, a virtual learning environment has its great advantages. Many advantages for teachers, for example, self-evaluating assignments and tests, pre-planned lessons as well. Some of the LMS has, you know, the planners, the suggested planner is already included in the LMS, which is great. It saves the teachers a lot of time. And easy tracking of students' performance, all right? So this is a great way for teachers to follow how students are doing. And the disadvantages is the students and teachers might not be familiar with the technology needed, particularly if you're only beginning to use technology in the classroom or in a virtual learning environment. The connection and devices limitations. Sometimes the internet is not working, or sometimes a particular device is not updated in order to support the LMS that you're using. Lack of student-teacher face-to-face interaction. A lot of the students and the way they like to learn is with the presence of the teacher. So for those kinds of students with those learning preferences, might suffer when they're learning online. And for younger students, and this is very interesting, and we can talk a lot more about this topic, but for younger students, and I'm talking about kindergarten students or first graders or second graders, might struggle with technology. And I don't mean using their games on their devices, but being more sophisticated when it comes to working with technology. And it requires students more focus and to be more in charge of their education also, and the excess screen time on students. And this is a major issue. Okay, so it's 5 minutes before 7, so I'm going to stop right now to allow for some questions. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen just for you to ask questions if you need to. You can open your microphone, or I don't know how.
Yes, Victor,
Yes.
thank you again. Yes, here I have one question from one of our teachers here today. They say, what are pedagogical approaches in early years? This is the question. What are pedagogical approaches in early years?
Well, depends. Are you talking about face-to-face or you're talking about virtual learning environments? Um,
I guess about virtual learning environment because this is the way that they are working now.
Okay, well, typically as a general answer, all of the pedagogical approaches would work for all kinds of students from all ages. However, I wouldn't consider the pedagogical approach the issue with smaller kids. I would shift the attention to the fact that these very small kids are working with technology they don't necessarily understand. As I say, they can probably understand their little games that their parents set up for them to play, but being in a virtual learning environment for a very, very young kid, I think that's the problem. It's not the pedagogical approach, the problem. And I know this is very challenging for the teachers of very small children. Their attention span and their need for movement, it's very different from older students. So I think the world of teaching has a big challenge, and I don't have the answer for that, and I don't think many teachers have the answer. So I believe that's something we will need to work on in the next few years. That would be my answer.
Yes. Okay, thank you so much, Victor. Thank you again for this wonderful presentation. Okay, it was very nice. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for accepting our invitation. I know all teachers are really happy to have you here this afternoon. We learned a lot with you. Okay.
I really hope so, and I was very, very happy to be connected via Zoom with all of you, and I wish you the best of luck, and I want to congratulate all of you teachers because you are the real heroes. Working with students from a distance is not easy. It's challenging, and we are all learning a lot. Okay,
Yes.
so congratulations to all of you, and I hope to see you sometime in the future.
Of course, of course. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
now dear teachers, we are getting to our break of 15 minutes, right? Okay, we are going to go on a break, 15 minutes. Keep connected, remember, okay? And if you were not registered on time, you have in the chat box, you have the link for registering. And also we make you remember that please, you have to put your complete names because of your certificates and because of the raffle, okay? Because if not, we are not going to be able to identify you. So it's important that you can write, please, your complete names, the names that you use when you register, okay? So in 15 minutes, we are here again. Thank you, thank you. Don't move, don't escape.
Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Victor.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
En Nutesa estamos comprometidos a llevar educación de calidad a todos los estudiantes peruanos. Por ello, seguimos trabajando, adaptándonos a la era digital, brindando así material acorde a las necesidades de hoy, porque el aprendizaje no se detiene. eFisher, editorial innovadora con productos que se adaptan a nuestros estudiantes. Especialistas en desarrollar contenidos basados en las competencias del siglo XXI. Editorial Eli, con un gran respaldo en el mundo de las editoriales. Es líder en publicaciones no solamente para el aprendizaje del inglés, sino de otros idiomas también. Conocida por su contenido creativo, ahora disponible en plataformas y aplicaciones. Publishing, con más de 3.500 títulos publicados y presente en más de 90 países, nos ofrece soluciones educativas basadas en el desarrollo de pensamiento crítico y resolución de problemas. Todo ello en forma digital. National Geographic Learning, la editorial que lleva al mundo al aula y el aula a la vida de los estudiantes. Sus series permiten el aprendizaje por experiencia y desarrollan habilidades para ser ciudadanos globales exitosos. Nuestra serie del nivel inicial que pertenece al sello Calligraphics es la preferida de los más pequeños, quienes aprenden el inglés acompañados de tiernos personajes. English Buzz es una serie para el nivel primaria de la editorial Briggs. El buzz del inglés recorre calles mientras va presentando contenido variado, historias, canciones que aportan diversión al aprendizaje del inglés. McGraw-Hill, con la misión de lograr experiencias intuitivas y atractivas para los estudiantes, esta editorial ha desarrollado sus series basándose en la investigación, nos presenta sus programas de inglés y el innovador sistema de aprendizaje de las matemáticas, Alex. Nutesa no es solo una empresa, no es solo la enseñanza o el sentimiento de un libro, la fuerza de un perforador o la elegancia de una agenda. Nutesa somos todos. Nos acompañaste 78 años y hoy te acompañamos a ti. Gracias, Perú. En Nutesa estamos comprometidos a llevar educación de calidad a todos los estudiantes peruanos. Por ello, seguimos trabajando, adaptándonos a la era digital, brindando así material acorde a las necesidades de hoy, porque el aprendizaje no se detiene. eFisher, editorial innovadora con productos que se adaptan a nuestros estudiantes. Especialistas en desarrollar contenidos basados en las competencias del siglo XXI. Editorial Eli, con un gran respaldo en el mundo de las editoriales. Es líder en publicaciones no solamente para el aprendizaje del inglés, sino de otros idiomas también. Conocida por su contenido creativo, ahora disponible en plataformas y aplicaciones. Publishing, con más de 3.500 títulos publicados y presente en más de 90 países, nos ofrece soluciones educativas basadas en el desarrollo de pensamiento crítico y resolución de problemas. Todo ello en forma digital. National Geographic Learning, la editorial que lleva al mundo al aula y el aula a la vida de los estudiantes. Sus series permiten el aprendizaje por experiencia y desarrollan habilidades para ser ciudadanos globales exitosos. Nuestra serie del nivel inicial que pertenece al sello Calligraphics es la preferida de los más pequeños, quienes aprenden el inglés acompañados de tiernos personajes. English Buzz es una serie para el nivel primaria de la editorial Briggs. El buzz del inglés recorre calles mientras va presentando contenido variado, historias, canciones que aportan diversión al aprendizaje del inglés. Con la misión de lograr experiencias intuitivas y atractivas para los estudiantes, esta editorial ha desarrollado sus series basándose en la investigación, nos presenta sus programas de inglés y el innovador sistema de aprendizaje de las matemáticas, Alex. Nutesa no es solo una empresa, no es solo la enseñanza o el sentimiento de un libro, la fuerza de un perforador o la elegancia de una agenda. Nutesa somos todos. Nos acompañaste 78 años y hoy te acompañamos a ti. Gracias, Perú.
Unmute. Okay, hello. Hello again, dear teachers. We are just to start. We are just to start with our second part of this day. Okay, just please. What I was trying to tell you is that you have to write your complete name in your Zoom profile. Okay, rename your names on your Zoom profiles. Okay, because we are looking at your profiles. We are looking at all your windows, Zoom windows, right? And when we look at them, we cannot see your names. Sometimes we are reading nicknames. So what we are asking you to do, please, is to write in your Zoom's windows, okay, your complete names, the names you use for registering, right? On your Zoom windows, please rename and write your complete names, the ones that you use for registering, because when we look at your windows, we cannot see some of your names. We just see nicknames, like, for example, Patty, Lourdes, Lou, okay? No. We want to see your complete names, okay? For example, in my case, Patricia Medina is there. You're looking at my window, it's my complete name, okay? This is what we want. This is what we are asking for, okay? Yes, not in the chat box, okay? Not in the chat box, but in your windows of Zoom. Okay, now we are going to start. So first, again, some considerations
the
again.
Guidelines.
Yes, our guidelines, my partner. Yes. Okay, here we are. Mute your microphones during the sessions, please. And just one thing, right? I don't know if this is important or not, but I guess it is. Try not to do anything, please, because we could see what happened, okay, on the previous session with the PPT, with the presentation of our speaker, right? And well, I think it's part of our image sometimes, so try not to do anything, right? Because yes, this could happen. This could happen, okay? Yes, okay, so mute your microphones during the sessions, please. Certificates will be awarded daily, we told you, right? And to obtain them, the thing is that you have to be attending both sessions in the day, okay? Teachers who couldn't register on time, please fill in the form and please see the chat box. In the chat box, okay, we are pasting the link for registration if you are not. And we will send your certificates from October 6 on, and attach, you will receive a survey to complete, okay? So you can help us improve. And of course, don't miss our raffle at the end of the day, okay? So thank you for this, and Lourdes,
Yes,
it's
I'm
your
here.
time, yes.
Okay, let me share. Can you hear me well, yes?
Yes,
Okay,
okay,
Patricia,
yes.
one moment. I'm going to share. Okay. Yes.
Lou, make
So,
it bigger. Yes, right, yes.
Yeah, okay,
Now
that's
it's okay,
right.
now it's okay, yes.
Okay,
yes,
it's
yes,
okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so today I have the pleasure to introduce a great teacher. Yes, a dear teacher, a trainer of teachers, a trainer of trainers, our trainer, our dear Maria Luisa. Yes.
Our teacher,
So,
right.
yes, and our trainer too.
Yes.
Maria Luisa Mu is the academic director of customized training services. She was the general coordinator of the language department at USIL and is a certified teacher trainer, as I said. Maria Luisa is an educator who holds a master's degree in English language teaching from the University of Sheffield, England, and has postgraduate degrees in educational management from PUC, information technology from USIL, curriculum design for distant learning courses from PUC, negotiation and conflict resolution from PUC 2, and teacher training from Cayetano University. She was a tutor of the blended learning master degree in TEFL and is a speaking examiner from Cambridge University from YLE to CPE. So welcome, Maria Luisa. Are you there?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay.
Welcome, Maria Luisa.
Welcome.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure to share this time with you. I'm looking forward to exchanging some ideas and to discuss some issues connected to professional development and its impact on students' learning. Let me share my presentation, please. Okay, so professional development is one of the issues we are going to discuss today, and the other is the impact on the students' learning during COVID times. So let's focus on the first thing, which is the content, the COVID times. All right?
Hi, my name is Christina.
The video, now the purpose of this video is to introduce you to four teachers of English. Well, some of them were teachers of English, and their experience, when they had to move from face-to-face teaching to remote teaching. All right? I would like to know which one you identify with, which you think it shares some of the feelings that you felt when we had to move from our current content to online content. And this video was recorded in June 2020, so it's quite recent. All right, so for teachers, their expressions about what was it like to teach in COVID times, right? Let's see which one you identify with.
Torres. I'm an 8th grade English teacher at Punahou School in Honolulu, Hawaii.
I'm Justin Minkle. I teach 2nd grade at Jones Elementary in Springdale, Northwest Arkansas. It's a high poverty public school where about 80% of the kids are English learners.
Hi, my name is Russell, and I'm a split grade elementary teacher and administrative intern at Highline Public Schools in Western Washington State, not far from Seattle.
Hi, my name is Ariel Sachs, and I'm an 8th grade English teacher at the Renaissance Charter School in Jackson Heights in Queens, New York. Our school's been closed since March 16th, and we've been doing remote learning since March 23rd.
The low point was when we found out that we weren't returning to school, at least to the school buildings. In my classroom, we had a lot of positive momentum going. A lot of growth was happening, and you just feel like the school year has been taken from you.
One of my biggest concerns is making my students feel safe. And that's really hard to do right now, particularly when I struggle to feel safe. You know, when you work with kids and there's some kind of a crisis or something that's really upsetting, you want to be there and tell them that it's going to be okay and that you're there to support them. And with this, it feels a lot harder to do that. It feels a lot harder to tell them that everything's going to be okay.
With everything that's going on, and really a lot of heartbreak and difficult times for people in my neighborhood and my school community, that's been hit especially hard by the coronavirus. It's been, you know, very satisfying to be able to move our learning community to the online platform.
I've been really appreciative that my school has actually been really repeating the mantra, brave over perfect. We want to be brave, we want to meet this challenge head on, and we already know it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. So I feel really grateful for that.
I think we're now realizing as educators that nothing replaces being in the classroom.
So many of my students don't have a device at home that is their own. In most cases, an entire family with several kids is sharing one computer or one iPad, and they all need to get on during the day.
I'm encountering a few new challenges that are unique to this situation and this platform.
I had a student named Amelia who really wanted to be involved, and she sent me an adorable little video on FaceTime of all the papers of math that she'd been doing and writing she'd been doing, and told me she missed me. But her mom has to take her phone to work every day. Like most of my students' parents, her mom is on an hourly wage, and she has to keep going into work right now during the coronavirus pandemic to make a living wage. So Amelia had no way to connect. This week I bought her a refurbished Chromebook on Amazon, had it delivered to her house, and since then she's been at every single Zoom meeting. But it's a need that I don't think our district has figured out yet how to fully meet.
I think the high point has been the perseverance of the educators in this district and the students.
The biggest surprise to me of the week has been how normal it feels when I'm actually talking to the kids face to face. Like, there's all the same laughter, there's all the same affection, their quirky personalities are the same.
Now that I have a routine and I feel like I can lead a class through Zoom, I need to figure out what's going on with each of the students who didn't respond at some point.
I think the low point right now is just feeling like we're not able to give students everything they need. School is really important, that's why we invest in it, and this is not normal school. At the same time, what I've experienced is that families are so engaged, they're so involved, and they're really grateful for everything we do.
Okay. Sorry. All right. So we heard 4 teachers. No? We heard the Christina, the one who teaches in her way, no? And she tells us that she's a teacher of children, little children, and she felt so bad about not being able to hug them and to tell them that everything was going to be okay. But she had this expression, this mantra. She said, okay, my school's mantra is be brave over being perfect. And I believe that this is one of the things that has decided our fate in our teaching. No? We've been facing a situation that we had never faced before, and we wanted to meet the challenge. We wanted to be brave, right? Ariel, the second lady, the one with the curly hair, who said that, okay, it was all right to move from face-to-face to the online platform, still believes that she has some challenges in these new contexts and situations. Justin, and I don't know if you've noticed, all of them teach English in the United States, but they teach in areas which are very much deprived, in areas of poverty. So Justin was saying that in his school, no, there was only one mobile phone per home, and the mother had to take the mobile phone, no, to her work. So the kid had nothing, no, to study with. So the teachers at the school, no, collected money to buy her, no, a Chromebook, no, a second-hand Chromebook, so she could access the information, no, that the teachers were sending. And Russell said, okay, we managed to meet the challenge because of perseverance on the part of the teachers and perseverance on the part of the students. No, but he finished with something interesting. He said, I'm sure we are not able to give the students everything they need. And so we have these 4 teachers, and I believe that you may identify with some of them, because we live also in contexts where there are students who have no access to the information the teacher sent, or there is only one laptop in the house, and we have to share, the students have to share that laptop with their parents, with their brothers, sisters, etc. And it's not only the students who are facing these situations, it's also us, right? So COVID times have provided quite a challenge for all of us. So it would be difficult to move on, but we are doing it. We are resilient. So we are being brave. We are trying to meet the challenge. So how does professional development connect to COVID times? In our effort to meet the challenge, what did we do? At first we panicked, but then we said, I need to learn this. I am not so good at using internet. I'm not so good at learning. I think I need tools. I need platforms. I need this. I need that. And so we started looking for them, right? And that is what professional development is about. Sorry. Okay. Professional development, or AKA CPD, continuous professional development. You may bump into this acronym. No, is 2 things, okay, especially for teachers. Could be any effort, no, any activity that others do for educators. And when I say others, could be the institution, the university, propitiating initiatives for training their staff. Could be the school, could be Minedu, could be any sort of organization, that tries to train the teaching staff. That is professional development. What's the disadvantage? That because there is a third person in the game, we teachers, the ones who have to learn, to be better teachers, don't have a word. Sometimes don't have a word on about what to learn and how to learn it, which is a bit unthinkable if you give it a thought, because when we teach our students, we are always aware of what they need and their different learning styles. But sometimes, when it's a matter of training us, the people responsible for training most of the times don't ask us, what is it that you need? They have their own idea of what we need. But there is also this other definition, definition B, which is, it's one way teachers can improve their skills and boost learner outcomes. Okay, and by saying it's one way, so this gives us leeway to think that perhaps this time we do have the possibility of saying, this is what we need, and this is how I want to learn it, and this is in the same way as we want to boost our learning outcomes. Remember, learning outcomes is what the learners are able to produce at the end of the teaching session. We must be able, if the professional development, if the training was good, we must be able to use what I have learned during my training in my classroom, right? So what is the connection now between professional development and learning? Let's find out. Learning occurs in 2 different ways, talking about professional development for teachers. So formal settings and informal settings. Formal settings is what we decided we needed the moment we were immersed, heads on in this deep swimming pool. We thought that we needed courses, we needed seminars, we needed workshops, we needed resources in order to teach. Some of us didn't have textbooks, didn't have any experience at using platforms, etc. So we had to look for that. And we had to look for that in institutions that were serious, and in our own institutions that provided us with some training in a formal environment. But we also have what is called the informal setting. It's when you independently decide to do the research. I'm sure that some of you have started Googling and finding out, trying to find tutorials to see how Zoom works, or what app would be most appropriate for formative assessment, and so on, or even chatting with some other colleagues and saying, and what do you use for assessing speaking or assessing role plays? Do you have any rubric that is already available and that it's friendly for my students, etc.? So that is the informal setting for learning, because we learn from each other. And this is something that we need to remember. Learning occurs individually, but also collaboratively. And that's why you are here. Yeah? So if I had to run a poll, because normally when we decide that we want to collect information, we have to use tools to collect information. And one tool for collecting information is a poll, right? There are too many of you. I cannot run a poll or I will stay here forever, but I'm going to show you the kind of questions I had set in a tool that is called Menti. I don't know if you're familiar with Menti. Some of you may. Okay, so let me stop sharing here and opening because my connection is not good. But I'm going to open the Menti that I already had opened, because this is something that we also learn when we teach, using when we teach online. Sometimes our connections, especially at this time of the day, are too slow. So you should have all of your pages open, just in case, as I did. Okay, so this was the poll. So the question was, have you registered in a workshop, seminar, course, or conference on A, methodology for teaching online, B, learning apps or learning web tools, learning online platforms, or C, both, lately? And by lately, I mean since March onwards. Yeah? And I'm sure that if you answer this poll in Menti, these numbers will run very high. And well, someone has started answering. That's not my intention, but that's the idea. So some of you in methodology, some others in learning apps, some others in both, because probably we need both. We need to introduce new things to teach online, and sometimes we need, we are quite familiar with methodology, and we just need to adapt. Perhaps it's not necessary to go any further, just to make some changes. Okay, so this is just something that I wanted to find out, and well, I've got some answers, but as I said, we are not going to stop here, but it's just to give you an idea of how we respond, how we try to meet the challenge of teaching online when we don't have the resources, when we don't know how long this was going to happen and what was going to happen. But this is the answer. I'm going to learn in order to teach. And that is professional development in a nutshell. All right, let's stop here. Thank you very much for the ones who responded, but I have to go back to the presentation. Okay, so of course you did that, but that costs time. That's investment of time, and that's an investment of money, because not all the conference, workshops, seminars, etc. were free of charge. Yeah? And also, I remember many of you saying, I spent more time preparing my lessons online than when I had to prepare them face to face. And we are always short of time for our teaching, for our grading, and also for our lives. So what's going to happen then? How are we going to connect this? Well, so I learn, because with my learning, I'm going to see how I improve my teaching. And if I improve my teaching, this teaching is going to make an impact on my students. Learning takes time. Learning involves an effort, and but you decided, you made the decision. That's why you are here. This is also one of your efforts for working on your professional development. You decided that this seminar, this series of conference, was something that would be useful for you. You made this decision, right? Okay, so learning is something that occurs informally, formally, probably both, and that means investing time, money, effort on my learning for a particular result. And what is that result? What impact I'm going to have in my teaching. All right? When I was preparing this session, now I read an article from a page that is called Prodigy, which, funnily enough, it's a page that provides support for mathematics, for homeschoolers, students who study at home. So they were quite ready, quite familiar with using internet and working online. And I read an article called 5 Ways to Make Teacher Professional Development Effective. And I took these 2 quotes from here. And I would like to know if you agree or disagree with the first one, all right? So this first one says, when teachers have access to continuous learning opportunities and professional development resources, they're better equipped to become good teachers. Teachers access continuous learning opportunities, professional development resources, they're better equipped to become good teachers. Yes? Okay. Would you agree with this quote? You think, yes, that's true, absolutely true. You say, Carola, right. Okay. What are the key words here? What are the key words in this quote that would allow me to make an informed decision whether I agree or not? Learning opportunities. Now, access, mainly access to learning opportunities. Continuous learning, very good. We never stop learning. I absolutely agree. Resources. So teachers need access to learning opportunities and development resources in order to be better equipped, as someone mentioned there, to become good teachers. Yes? When I started my teaching career, I was a junior teacher and I worked for an institution which allowed us to invest in our professional development by giving us the opportunities to take classes for sitting for the Cambridge exams. In those days, it was the FCE and the proficiency. There were only 2 exams. And if we passed, depending on the grade, they would give us a bonus. So they would discount the fee from our salaries. So that was a facility because we could pay for the exam on installments. But also, if we got an A, they gave us a bonus of 100%. If we got a B, they gave us a bonus of 50% the fee, the cost of the fee. And if we got a C, they gave us a bonus of 25%. So that was good because we could pay according to our possibilities, and we were very motivated to study and to pass with good grades because we would have extra money for that. And also there are institutions that the more qualifications you have, the more money you may receive as a bonus or as part of your salary. So investing in professional development of your staff is a must. It's just common sense, and it also gives you lots of returns, not only in terms of reputation, but also in terms of money, because schools who have a reputation of being good because of the number of students who achieve these international exams are schools that have no problems with the getting students registered, right? So this was one of the quotes. Now let me show you the second quote. How about this one? What do you think of this? We're talking about the impact on the students. No, if we have better teachers, they are going to teach more effectively. How about this one? Teacher professional development, this issue, encourages teachers to be active participants in their own learning and ensures that the students and teachers alike are eager to learn. Okay, so teacher professional development. So if my institution or if myself feel that I have to work on my professional development, I'm going to be active participant in my learning, and this is important, to make students and teachers eager to learn. When you feel eager to learn, you want, you stay overnight studying, preparing your lessons, and you register for the Cambridge English First for the first certificate, even if you have to stay until 10 o'clock marking papers, preparing the lesson for next day, but you know that you need that certificate because that's going to show your level of proficiency in the language, that's going to help you understand your students better. And as I always say, my personal motto, we cannot give what we don't have. If I am not good at speaking the language and using the language, how can I expect that my students are going to be good at using the language? If I don't read, if my students never see me with the book, how do I expect them to be good readers? So we have to be coherent with the expectations that we have, with the kind of model we provide, right? So if you agree with this, I'm really happy with it. And so, okay, I'm going to tell you that another impact on the students, besides more effective teaching, is that we are going to promote what is called growth mindset. Have you heard of growth mindset before? I remember 2 or 3 years ago, perhaps even farther than that, we talked in CTS, we talked about trends in online teaching, and we talked about mindsets. Growth mindset, in case you don't remember, a mindset, this is a psychological term, is a belief that orients the way we handle situations, the way we sort out what's going on, what we should do. It's a belief, okay? So you have 2 kinds of mindsets, the fixed mindset and the growth mindset, which is what we want to get. What's a fixed mindset? It's when you say, when you believe that your skills, your talents, your intelligence is fixed, that you cannot learn anymore. This is a person with a fixed mindset is the person that says, I am not good at languages. I'm terrible at mathematics. I cannot cook. I cannot do this. No, I'm a terrible dancer. I have 2 left feet, right? So that's not good because you are kind of tackling yourselves. You are shooting yourself on the foot by saying this because you're already saying, I can't. So no matter what you do, you can't. That's a fixed mindset. But a growth mindset is to be eager to learn, as we said. The teacher is eager to learn, and the teacher is the model for the student. The student says, yes, my teacher is learning all of this for me, to be a better teacher. And because she wants me to learn the language, so I'm going to do the same. A growth mindset is when the students know, they believe that they can develop their skills and talents, and this is the key word, through effort, persistence, and being receptive to lessons and feedback. Okay? If you don't work, if you don't study, if you don't attend the lessons, if you don't do the homework, of course you're not going to learn. This is common sense, right? And if the teacher is indolent and says, homework, okay, collects the homework today and returns the corrected homework 2 weeks later, Okay, so the teacher is not interested in my learning. The teacher knows that I am terrible at English. All right. So this growth mindset is a belief that we must develop in our students. But before we develop it in our students, we should have it. Yeah? So me as a teacher should believe that all my students have abilities. They can all learn if they make an effort, if they are perseverant, if they are receptive to lessons, if they attend the lessons, to be receptive to lessons, they participate in the lessons, and if they are receptive to feedback, understanding feedback not as criticism, not as correction, but as suggestions, as compliments of what they did well, what their strengths are, what students' strengths are, and also suggestions for how to improve. Where you are, where do you have to go, how do you have to get there? That's useful, effective feedback. Okay? Now, when I said we were faced with lots of ideas of I need to learn this app, I need to learn this web tool, and there are thousands and thousands of them. Yeah? What is it that we need to learn? We need to learn what is important for your current content, not what is fashionable, not what is trendy. Okay, not because in the other school they are using that and they are learning to use this and the bitmojis and the emojis, and so I need to use that. No, because we are not learning to impress our coordinator or our supervisor, or we are not learning to impress our students and use 20 apps in a 40-minute lessons. We are learning to facilitate my students' grasping of the knowledge. We are learning, and it's enough if you learn 3 or 4 apps or web tools, you master them and you teach them. We learn to teach. Learn some tools, teach your students these tools so your students can use them. I don't have to prepare all the Kahoots. My students can perfectly prepare the Kahoots, and they are going to be so involved in preparing the Kahoots that they are going to be learning at the same time. And I don't have to prepare and to record all the videos. My students can record the videos. I can teach them how to use screencast, how to use the video with the Google. There are 3 or 4 things that they need to learn in order to use them for their own learning process. Okay, we need to develop autonomous learners, and a learner is not going to be autonomous if he's all the time asking you, Miss, what's the meaning of this? Miss, how do you say this? Miss, what do I have to do? Miss, I want to watch a video. Why don't you show us a video? I just want songs, etc. Learning is their job. Facilitating their learning is mine, right? Okay. And something else. I recently read, and I forgot to write the name of this article, a research that said that when you provide feedback, because feedback is super important, for formative learning and formative assessment and all that, students in the online setting that we are experiencing prefer oral feedback. Because remember, to teach online, we need to establish rapport, and that is difficult because we only see little faces and sometimes names. No, we don't see the body language, the gestures, the smiles. We don't see that. So establishing good connection with the students in an online environment is hard. And that's why when you provide feedback that is oral, the students feel connected with you. They feel that you care. They love to hear your voice. They love to see your faces. And that's why if you need to learn some apps anyway, try to learn those apps where you can provide videos or voices, voice files, Voki. Flipgrid is one of them. Flipgrid is a tool where you
Maria Luisa, we can't hear you. You are mute.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, is that okay now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, now it's okay. Now it's okay.
Sorry. Okay, so I was saying, so Flipgrid is one of these friendly tools where you create a lesson or task, really. You create a task, and then you give the students the code, and they respond to a task. Okay, so if you say, I want you to watch this video, or I want you to read this article, and then I want you to give me your opinion. So every single student records in a minute and a half the response to that input, okay? I'm going to show you some resources, because what I wanted you to know is that it's not necessary to be creating wonderful, splendid lessons and using lots and lots of tools. Some of these tools, like Flipgrid, have their own lessons, because some teachers, when they make their lessons and they see that they work, they upload the lesson to the app, to the tool, and you can benefit from that. Okay. The question then is, what would you teach with this material that I'm going to show you that I found in Flipgrid? It's a lesson that I found in Flipgrid. Okay. Is it a 4 skills lesson? Is it reading, writing? Is it a language lesson? What is it? Okay. So let me show you. Sorry. First, the video. Okay. The first piece of input is the video.
أهم شيء الليرة التركي، هاي خليها ذكرى من تركيا والمجد. هدول أهم شيء يعني بالنسبة إلي، يمكن إذا انقطعنا من المصاري نستخدمه في مقص وشفرات.
For my children, for my son.
This from my mother. She bought to me.
أنا اللي بفتقده مثل ابني في بعض الألعاب كانت.
I had two socks of my two children. That two socks was very expensive for me. ما ضل شيء، معي ديني ضل بس، ضل الدين بس جوا بضل.
All right. So, any idea? Social studies, religion. Okay. Critical thinking. All right. Okay. This is one of the resources. There is another. This is another. Okay. It's on the same topic, but it's in another format. First one was a video. No. This one is a text. Same topic. No. What's in my bag? What refugees bring when they run for their lives. No. So that's the topic. And you also have here, no, the reports from, in this case, it's a mother. She's 20, what she has in her bag. No, students are supposed to read. There is a lot of medicine here for the baby. This is a child, age 6, that's his bag. This is what he has in his bag. Values, problem solving, hope. Oh, I like that one, Matilde. Hope. A teenager, he's 17. This is what he has. And so on. Okay? So, from what you have, oh, Maria Isabel says, lots of food for thought. Yes, oral expressions, comments, opinions, vocabulary, right. Okay, but let me show you what the teacher, let me show you the lesson that the teacher decided he was going to use, okay? Let me move this. I'm going to stop sharing so as to show you the page. Okay, so this is the kind of lessons in inverted commas or tasks that you can find in this kind of apps, in this kind of tools, right? They are all ready. This is the task. What's in your suitcase? Yeah? The context. What if you have to escape from your home tomorrow? You do not know whether and when you will return. Remember, you can only have one suitcase and you are probably going to leave your country on foot or by road. You might not always be sleeping in a house at night. Take 5 to 10 minutes, always giving students thinking time, to decide what you will take. And the resource is what I showed you, the text, and the video is what I showed you, the video. All right? So problem-solving activity is very likely, Maria de Los Angeles, because in our times, when our teacher wanted us to learn conditionals, there was a problem-solving topic that was called, what would you take with you if you were shipwrecked on a desert island? And we had to write sentences like, if I were shipwrecked on a desert island, I would take a rope, I would take water, I would take them. So this is something similar to make you, in my times, the only focus was conditionals, grammar. But in this case, do you think that's the only focus of the lesson? No, it's a problem-solving activity, yes, but the teacher who uploaded this lesson said the subject is community, beyond the classroom. No? He said, writing about how others are feeling, emotive language exploration. Emotive language exploration. Introducing the true understanding of what it is like to be a refugee, and also for refugees to reflect on their own journeys. This is a must lesson in every classroom, ages 11 to 13. Right? Sometimes we tend to patronize students, even at the university. We say, oh, talk about your favorite artist, talk about Messi. But there are some other important things in life going on. And it's our duty as teachers, you know, to expose them to life, to real life. Don't you think? Yes? Okay, so I appreciate your answers. And let me show you that there is something that was also intended to be taught in this lesson, and that is called SEL, social and emotional learning. So it's not only grammar, it's not only language, it's not only study skills, it's not only life skills, it's social and emotional learning that goes into the classroom as well. You know? It's to help our students to understand and to manage emotions, to set and achieve positive goals, to establish positive relationships, okay? So that can also go into a lesson. All right, okay? So far, so good? So we are moving close to the objective of our lesson, session, sorry, which was professional development and the impact on students, all right? So we've done this. I'm sorry. Okay. We are going now to move into what's effective professional development. How can we get professional development? So effective CPD, effective continuous professional development. These are some tips. First, make it specific, okay? The idea is more depth and less breadth. Don't try to learn so many things. You know? Focus on what is really important for your current life, for your current situation, all right? 2 or 3 things. Remember that in an online lesson, you can only teach 2 tasks or 3 tasks at the most, because everything takes longer online, right? So make it specific. The idea is that if you register in a workshop, in a seminar, you have to come away from that session with something that you can use immediately in the classroom, or with something, as someone over there, I think it was Marisa, said, with some food for thought. We need to reflect. We need time to reflect. We need space to reflect on our own teaching. How can I make Juanito learn better? And you have to teach your students to reflect on their own learning. How can I make my essay more readable, more interesting? Okay? These are questions that are individual, personal. Students have to answer these questions themselves. They need to reflect. I am not going to be there all their lives to tell them the correct answer, right? Make it ongoing. We never cease learning, so continuously learn. And then it's like life. We learn from experience. We know what worked and what didn't work. We've all made our mistakes, and we've learned hopefully from them, right? And important, set out your professional development plan. What is it that you want to reach in your professional life? Where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? What do you want to be doing? A master's degree? You want to have your own institute, language institute? You want to travel abroad? What is your professional development plan? Set yourself SMART goals. SMART meaning specific. Exactly what my goal for this year is to pass the CAE exam. Perfect. Measurable. Is my goal measurable? Yes, because if I pass the exam, if I pass the exam, then it's possible, it shows, I'm sorry, that I reach my goal. Is it achievable? Do I have the resources to get my goal? Do I have the money to pay for the exam? Do I have the money to pay for the courses, for the training courses? Is it relevant or useful? Is it useful? Yeah. Yes. Is it time effective? It means, do I have the time that I need to reach this goal? I cannot say, I want to get the first certificate in English and I'm going to start preparing today to sit for the exam on October the 15th. Come on, right? Okay. So the idea of this session, that it's coming closely to an end, is to make you realize how wonderful you are, because you decided that you were not going to give up. You had your growth mindset and you said, I'm going to learn. Now you know that it's called growth mindset. It's just, I'm going to learn and I'm going to meet this challenge. This COVID-19 is not going to kill me physically or professionally, all right? We know that there are some tragic stories of colleagues who have lost their jobs, who have been, who have had their salaries reduced, who have even lost their lives. But I'm still here. It's brave over perfect. I'm not perfect, but I have the courage, I have the bravery to carry on. And I'm going to learn, I'm going to become a better teacher, I'm going to become a better person, I'm going to be a good model for my students, right? To finish my session today, I'm going to show you another video, okay? And after this video, you will have to answer, well, not to answer, but I want you to take away something with you, all right? Yeah, I do love acronyms myself as well. Okay, so let's watch this video. I hope you find it motivating. It's really nice when we see children enjoying what they do and grown-ups enjoying what they do. And then for the takeaway, the takeaway is like the food, what you take with you. This is not working as I wanted. Come on, let me see. But never mind, let's watch the video. Things happen.
world. Each day that comes, more boys and girls, grandmas and grandpas, lots of poorer folk too. Is there enough food for me and you? Factory farm food sold in the store. Eat and consume more and more. Fuel for the cars and fuel for power, overheating the earth in its final hour. Living, sharing, giving and caring. Are you doing your best for the world? Are you doing your best for the world? Waste and pollution, extinction near. Greed and injustice, change and fear. Working together is the only way for a world with a future, for a better day. Living, sharing, giving and caring. Are you doing your best for the world? Are we doing our best for the world? Living, sharing, giving and caring. Are you doing your best for the world? Am I doing my best for the world? Living, sharing, giving and caring. Are you doing your best for the world? Am I doing my best? Are you doing? Are you doing? Are you doing? Are you doing? Africa, America, Europe, Asia, Oceania, Antarctica.
Are you doing your best for the world?
I hope you noticed that these children are, some of them are Arabs and others are Jewish. No? So much so for, okay, so my takeaway for tonight, if there are no questions, and I really appreciate your comments in the chat, and some of you are doing your best, and we are all doing our best for this world. I am aware of that. I think I'll have my presentation. Oh, here, sorry. Okay, my takeaway would be, or your takeaway would be, think of two things that you learned tonight. Think of two things that you liked, that you found interesting, even if it's the videos. All right. So that would be the takeaway. No? Two things, and I hope that this is a wonderful song, that's true, that you, when you go home, you will reflect on what you have seen today and what you've, in the two sessions that we had today. I'm really appreciative with Nutesa for having given me the opportunity to address you. And if there is no other question or comment, I still have 4 minutes. I'm going to leave you with something that I use when I give feedback. feedback, you know, for us teachers is very important because we have to be careful with the smart growth, the smart outcomes. Oh, that's what you learned. Thank you very much. I love it. The smart outcomes and the growth mindset. Very good, very good. And when we give feedback, you know, to our students, you know, or to each other, we have to be careful with the words. I like the Dalai Lama. I like to read about that. And I'm going to share just one last thing from the presentation, which is something that I use for giving feedback. You know, this is from the Talmud, which is a Jewish book of law. You know, so it says, pay attention to your thoughts because they become words. Pay attention to your words because they become actions. Pay attention to your actions because they become habits. Pay attention to your habits because they become your character. Pay attention to your character because it is your fate, your destiny. All right? So, thank you. Thank you very much.
Maria Luisa, thank you. Thank you for this wonderful presentation, okay? That last slide was, I think everybody's going to start thinking about that, right? It's really, really important. And of course, with that song, we are going to start thinking what we are doing for this world, right? It's really, really important. The message was amazing, right? Thank you. Thank you for being part of our convention. Thank you for your time. Okay, as always, it's a pleasure to have you, with us.
Invitation, my pleasure.
We learn, no, thank you.
Take
We
care,
learn a
ladies.
lot from you. Thank
so many
you.
wonderful and friendly faces, Vanessa, Maripere, so many people that I know.
All familiar faces.
Yes.
All familiar faces. Yes, is that right?
All
yes.
of them, all of them. Thank you again. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.
Goodbye.
Now, my dear teachers, okay, what we have by now, right? But first, let me make you remember that tomorrow we have our last day of our convention, and this is going to start at 8:50 in the morning, right? 10 minutes to 9, we are going to start with the last day of our convention. 2 more sessions we are going to have tomorrow. So remember, in the morning, tomorrow morning, okay, at 10 minutes before 9, you are going to, or we are going to start with the last day, with the closing. Okay, the 2 more sessions and the closing of this convention. Okay, now before the raffle, you know that you are waiting for the raffle. Okay, we want to have pictures as always of each day because we are going to put them on our Facebook. Remember, okay, get into our Facebook and be a fan of Nutesa's Facebook. You are going to find many things, all news, okay, some videos, of course, Lourdes and me, right, and some
tips,
pictures, also some tips,
videos,
right, for you.
yes.
So get into our Nutesa's Facebook and be fan of us, right? So yes, okay, please turn on your cameras for the pictures. Turn on your cameras for the pictures and say hello, hello again, okay? And you are going to see your pictures on our Facebook, right? Yes, okay. Yes, before the raffle, yes. Say hello, hello, yeah, and I can see all those wonderful faces, friendly faces, family faces, right? Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, right? Yes, there you are. Okay, all our friends, all our users, okay, and the ones that are not, probably they are going to be, okay? Yes, but you are our friends, okay? We are in the world of teaching, and this is important for us, right? These sessions, I consider they are wonderful to help us improve as teachers, right? Yes, ready? Okay, all pictures, I think, are done, they are taken, yes? Yes, right, a happy face there, a happy face, right? Yes, Miss Angelica, yes, she's showing a happy face with a kiss. Say hello, yes, yes, hello, hello, thank you so much, thank you, right? Okay, yes, I think we can start with our raffle, but let me show you. Let me show you our prize. Yesterday we talked about this, but I didn't show it to you, right? So let me show our, sorry, just a minute, okay. Yes. I'm sorry. Wait, just a minute, please. Okay. No, I don't have it here. Sorry, I cannot find it. I cannot find my prize. Can you help me, please? Yes, here, yeah. Okay, I have it. Sorry, right? Sorry, things that happen. Patricia, what are you thinking about?
Don't worry.
Yes, here it is. Okay. Yes, okay, we are going to, sorry. Oh my God, I don't want you to go. That's the problem. That's the thing, that I don't want you to go. Yes, I don't want you to go, okay? Yes. No, again. Oh. Somebody is doing something, okay, with my presentation, okay. No, I don't want this. No, it's not because I don't want. Yeah, okay, here it is. Oh, sorry, right? Things about technology. This is our prize, okay? This is our prize. How to make online exams with self-correction and feedback included. This is the virtual course that you are going to receive, okay, from CTS, Customized Training Services, okay? And it's going to start October 31st. This is the prize that you are going to receive. Okay, so yes, let's start with our raffle. Okay, yes, the raffle now.
Okay.
Yes.
Pay attention.
Okay. Pay attention, yes, pay attention, everybody.
Yes. Mute your microphones, please. Yes?
Just mute.
Yes.
We are going to know who is going to be the winner. Don't worry,
yes.
You don't worry, right?
Don't worry, mute your microphones.
Our marketing department is in charge of this, right? Don't worry, we are going to see if you are here or not. Don't worry, and the winner is mute your microphones. Yes, everybody, okay? Let's see, okay. 5 prizes for today, 5. Okay. Let's see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the winners. Okay. Aguilar Delgado Juan Carlos, Lourdes Paola Cisniegas Linares, Fuentes Salas Maritza, Maraví Privat, Gloria, Vilma, Vázquez González, Isela. Okay, they are checking.
Juan Carlos Aguilar is not.
No, Juan Carlos. Okay.
González, Maritza, no está.
Vázquez González, no.
No, okay.
Fuentes Salas, no.
No, okay, yes. What about Paola, Lourdes Paola, no? No here?
No, Lourdes Paola.
No, okay, okay. Gloria Vilma Maraví?
Vilma.
Is she here? You are checking. You know, we have, okay. No, Isela Vázquez?
No.
No, thank you. So again, more possibilities for you, right? Very good. More possibilities. Again, please. Again, right? It's better now because we can check in a better way, right? Don't worry about that. Yes, again, yes. You're writing there, I'm reading on the chat box. Okay, yes. You say, yeah, yes, right. Okay, again, crossing the fingers. Yes, they say crossing fingers, right. Yes, let's see. 5 prizes, okay. No, it's not 5 prizes, 5 winners, right? 5 winners for that wonderful prize that we have for you. Yes, okay. 5, okay. Yes, okay, you start. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, Madeleine Violeta Cantocuro, Rocío Aide Gutiérrez Ramos, Annie Mary Salazar Cordero, Palomino Ovalle Martín Giovanni, and Elizabeth Cabrera Peso. Are they here?
Yes, Madeleine is here.
Great,
Madeleine, congratulations.
Miss Rocio Gutierrez is not here.
Is not here, okay, yes.
Salazar Cordero, no.
No, Salazar.
Cabrera Peso, no.
Cabrera Peso, no. What about Palomino? No, Palomino Valle?
Nope.
No, okay, so Madeleine Violeta, our first
Madeleine.
winner. Great, our first winner. Now, four winners, 4 more winners, right? Very good. Thank you, Madeleine Violeta Cantocuro, okay? Our marketing department is going to contact you for all the details. Don't worry about that. You are one of our winners. Great, congratulations. 4 more, okay? Yes, four winners, 4 more teachers. 4 more teachers, right?
Pati,
Yes.
Eli Salazar sí está presente.
Yes.
Ani Salazar presente.
Annie Salazar, okay, she's here. Okay, yes, okay, so 3, just 3, okay? Just 3, yes. Annie Salazar is here, very good, very good. 3, okay, pay attention, thank you. Thank you to our department, okay, thank you. Okay, Roxana Lucrecia Larco Puli, Alejandra Salas Zamora, Elías Octavio Peñarando Huerta. Alejandra Salas is here.
Yes.
Roxana is here too. Roxana
is here, right,
is
very
here.
good.
Congratulations.
What about Elías Octavio?
No.
No, okay, yes, so I guess we have just one more. Yes, one more. Okay, and again, remember, congratulations to all our winners, and remember that tomorrow we start at 8:50 in the morning, right? Remember, tomorrow is our last day, the last day, and remember to rename, to put your complete names, okay? Yes, that is great for your certificates and for the prizes. You know that it was easy for us. Just one, yes, just one. Just one, very good, very good. 5, 4, 3, oh, cross fingers. Okay, I will win tomorrow, yes, probably. Okay, Rosario Holguín Pauro.
She's here.
Yes,
Sí.
great. Congratulations.
Ya lo manejamos.
Congratulations. Okay, claps for you all, right? Yes, stop sharing so I can see all our teachers here, right? Stop sharing, yes. Okay, so see you tomorrow, my dear friends, dear teachers, dear colleagues. See you tomorrow morning. Tomorrow is our last day, okay? 2 more excellent speakers for tomorrow, so you can have a lot of activities and resources for your classes, okay? So see you tomorrow at 10 minutes to 9 in the morning. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Good night. See you
Goodbye.
tomorrow.
Goodbye. See you tomorrow.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.
I can hear you now. Yes.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you, teacher. Thank you. It was a
Bye.
pleasure. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, Miss. Thank you, Miss Pat.
Goodbye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye.
See you.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Vanessa.
Pleasure.
Bye. Tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Bye. See you. Thank you.
See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
Blessings. Blessings.
Congratulations for the winners.
See you tomorrow.
Congratulations. That is good. That is good, right? Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye, Angelica.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
See you tomorrow.
Pleasure. See you tomorrow in the morning. Tomorrow in the morning.
Thank you, Maria
Remember.
Luisa.
Thank you,
Yes,
Nutesa. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Nutesa.
Bye-bye.
Thanks to you.
Happy anniversary.
Happy to
Bye.
see you.
Thank you
Right.
so
Get into
much.
our
Thank you so
Facebook.
much.
Get into
Everything is
our
okay.
Facebook. Remember
Everything
that.
is okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That's wonderful. Wonderful to know
Thank
that.
you,
Right?
Patricia.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. See you tomorrow. See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Goodbye,
Thank
Miss
you.
Patty.
Yes, we have people from
Congratulations.
all our country. Thank you. Trujillo, Cajamarca. Okay, yes. everybody here.
Ayacucho.
Ayacucho. Okay. Goodbye. Goodbye. Hoping to see you
Goodbye.
soon. Right. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Blessings. Blessings.
Thank you so much from
God bless
Callao.
you. Oh,
Thanks
Callao.
to you.
Yes. Nice.
Goodbye,
Welcome.
Angelica.
Hi, look at Miss Angelica with her happy face.
Yes.
Great, nice.
Bye, bye.
Very good. Goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Very
Bye.
creative
Bye.
teacher. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes. She's there with all the faces.
With
nice.
happy
Goodbye.
faces.
Yes. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. See
Bye.
you tomorrow.
Bye.
Don't forget tomorrow.
See you.
Our
Okay.
last day tomorrow. Arequipa.
Tomorrow in the
Arequipa.
morning.
Yes.
Yes, Arequipa is
Maritza
here,
Fuentes.
present.
Arequipa. Miss Mary.
Yes.
Hello. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Hello,
Wonderful.
Arequipa.
Arequipa,
Yes.
yes, okay. New friends you have from all our country, yes. Goodbye, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, goodbye. See you.
It was a good day for us. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.